Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Talking Throttle. We have just a couple of hours ago watched the Las Vegas Grand Prix, which was an alright Grand Prix until an announcement came 6 hours later. Well, for me anyway, that kind of flipped the whole championship on its head. So we've got to talk about it. So stay with me as I break down exactly what I thought about the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Let's go!
Viva Las Vegas! Viva Las Vegas!
Right, so let's start off with the qualifying then, because it was a dead straightforward weekend. I haven't actually woken up for Vegas before, so this was my first time. So picture this. Just imagine this scene. I woke up, I set my alarm at 3:35 on a Saturday morning. I woke up, 5 seconds later, I went back to sleep. It didn't mean for it to go on that way, but somehow it did. But not gonna lie, quite happy I missed it, because I seen what happened to Lewis and I just thought if I had woken up and stayed awake and seen that my boy Habibi Lulu had finished qualified last, I would have lost my calculus. The qualifying result wasn't what we kind of not expected. It was kind of like on par with what we thought could happen. Carlos Sainz, every now and then in that Williams, it's like one of their drivers is really great and the other one doesn't. It's like one day we would get both of the drivers doing great at the same time and it would just be a chef's kiss. Then we head into the actual Grand Prix weekend itself. Immediately from like the first 2 laps, I think Lewis managed to go from like 19, got to about 12. So to go from 19 to 12, brilliant comeback. Like, let's keep this momentum going. Lewis and Hulkenberg were the 2 drivers that I believe started off on the hard tyres, where one went from mediums to hards. They went from hards to mediums. The only thing I would say about the Ferrari / Lewis strategy this weekend is I would not have pitted Lewis as early as I did on those hard tyres. I think they pitted him a little bit earlier than they should have done. I think those hard tyres could or should have got a few more laps out of them, and if he was able to maintain position, which I think before he pitted he was like what, 5th, 6th. I think if he continued that stint a little bit longer. Who was it that started off on the softs and came in and went on the mediums? I want to say it was Kimi Antonelli actually. Suitable option would have been to go into mediums, as he did. Both drivers came out in a similar type of standings. Hulkenberg was still ahead of Lewis at the time, but still, McLaren's. Now, I've been saying it for the past couple of weeks, and we've been saying it for the past couple of weeks, that this season is going to get intense now. The intensity was here. Now the intensity is up here. It's higher, do you know what I mean? Because of those 2 disqualifications. And one thing I think we can confirm coming into Vegas was Piastri doesn't have pace, Lando does, full stop. And I don't see much changing about that. Now, how it is that Lando's got more pace than Piastri blows my mind. 2 separate drivers. One driver has been leading the championship with this car this entire season. The other driver has been performing well, don't get me wrong, but is still second in a championship because the homeboy is bringing it home. All of a sudden now, same cars, all of a sudden now, this driver who wasn't doing too well, that's being paid a good couple million more than this driver, is now winning and dominating and has found the pace. Whereas the driver who's been dominating most of the season, who gets paid considerably a lot less millions, who has only been in the team for 2 years, is now starting to lose that pace. And I wouldn't be mad if at this stage McLaren were starting to prioritise one driver over the other, because it makes more sense, especially at this racing point in the season when you've got Max Verstappen breathing down your neck. Making out like Norris is the better driver and Piastri's just lost pace and he's just lost everything altogether. That can't be right. That can't be the same Oscar Piastri that we've been watching all season. And now I'm sat and forced to believe that he has lost his pace, which evidently he has, because if we look at performance, he obviously is slower. But it's like 2 and 2 is not making 4, because that's not the same driver we've been watching this whole 2025 season who's suddenly now lost pace. Okay. Because for him to come into F1 in 2023, McLaren won the Constructors in 2024, which they wouldn't have done if it wasn't for him. Now coming to 2025, he's been majority of the time the championship leader this entire season until the past couple of races. That's his season. respectfully. And I would say the exact same thing for Max Verstappen, because Max came in, Red Bull came in this season, and the dominance that they had for the past 4 years, it just wasn't there anymore. The car wasn't performing. They've had to change their power unit several times throughout the season in order to get that pace back. However, they are now this close, thanks to that disqualification, to actually winning a World Drivers' Championship, and that to me is mad. Should Max win this season, let's not forget the result that came from Vegas. But I will say that if that does happen, just bear in mind how it happened. And let it go down to Abu Dhabi, let it go down to the checkered flag there, then have the results that we've been having the past couple of seasons. It's been a good couple of years since we've seen a season this exciting and this close to the line, and I think this is what the season needs before we go into 2026 and we don't know who's going to be ahead, we don't know who's going to be performing where, we don't know what Scooby-Doo. So the point that I would like to mention about the Vegas Grand Prix, let's give it up one time for Mercedes. Full start. You got a 5-second penalty for a full start and still finish on the podium. Stop playing! Stop playing, because Kimi Antonelli is genuinely the future. George Russell, he did really, really well as well. But to see both George and Kimi on a podium on the same weekend that the F1 Academy driver for Mercedes has also won her championship, we're saying, oh, it could see you wonder why I still wear my Mercedes shirts. You still wonder, because look, I always said it, I am a Lewis girl through and through, but I'm not getting rid of my Mercedes shirts because Mercedes are actually a good team. Do you know what I mean? It's a team that I feel like I can resonate a lot with. So a part of my heart probably is still with Mercedes, and I think Kimi is definitely the future. I think I do want to point out though, double has points. Never would we have ever seen a time where, after all the years we've gone to sign and managing that team, we are now actually seeing genuine good results from Haas, and I'm actually really happy for them. They haven't been the most successful team in Formula One. I think they've probably been the most counted out team, considering they're, well, at the time, the only American brand in Formula One sport. We've seen brands come and go, but Haas have managed to stay true, and the fact that they finished a weekend with not one person getting points but both of them, because with all of that said and done, that's my ultimate debrief. What I will say is that obviously next weekend we have Qatar, and we have 2 races left of this season, guys, just 2. And if we know anything about McLaren, and if we know anything about Oscar Piastri in general, Lando Norris in general, and Max Verstappen in general, this is where we are going to see the sweat drip down. This is where championships are going to be made, people. We'll be back next week, and as we have 2 races left of the calendar, we have 2 of the most exciting weekends coming up. Do you wanna yap? Let's yap. Okay, so pause this video, go down to the subscription button, hit it, and turn on those notification buttons. Stick with me if you shall. Make sure you like and comment under this video. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you disagree. But I will be leaving you guys to it, and I will see you on the penultimate. I will see you with 2 races to go in Qatar next Tuesday. I'll see you later. Bye.